Howdy y'all, it's Mike Xaoc here, back again with another new Music Monday, partner. Darn tootin'. And today, I'm gonna be talking about, oh god, gotta get rid of that stupid country accent. Ugh. And today, I'll be talking about High Off Life, a new album by Future. Atlanta hip-hop star Future busted out on the trap rap scene almost 10 years ago, back in 2011, with the release of his Streets Calling mixtape. Since then, Future has released 8 studio albums, 5 collaborative mixtapes, and is featured on numerous songs across multiple genres, from King's Dead to Love Song, the Rihanna song. On top of that, 98 songs with Future in it have made it to Billboard. That's like 8th ever. The dude just constantly puts out hits. A lot of this success can be due to collaborations with mega pop stars like Drake or Juice WRLD, but not to undermine his talent, because Future has been getting national attention with his music pretty consistently throughout most of his career. So this new album was nothing different. I went into it expecting Future to deliver more hits, just like he did on What a Time to Be Alive, Self-Titled, Hendrix, The Wizard. Before even listening to the project, I saw that 3 of his recently released singles, Life is Good, Tycoon, and 100 Shooters were on here, which is 3 certified bangers right there. But the rest of the album is pretty typical of a Future project. With its simple but bold, head-banging trap beats, its trippy reverb instrumentation, and of course the iconic auto-tune. Before I get into the individual songs, I will say that one of my biggest pet peeves with this project, and just Future in general, is his lack of versatility. I mean, there's 21 tracks on this project, and most of them seem to follow this same formula without really exploring too much instrumentally. It's a formula that still works, but I do wish Future added a tad more variation. It would just make this project stand out from the rest of his work a bit more. However, what does stand out about this project is the vibe is a bit less aggressive than his prior work and more relaxed and fun. And I will say that the songs sound a bit cleaner. A good sound selection, tighter 808s, and punchier vocals make for a better mix. Yet Future's lyrical content is still pretty typical and hasn't really shown much progression, with his go-to topics being fame, money, drugs, and luxury cars and brands. I mean, on the intro Trapped in the Sun, Future mentions a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Porsche, as well as some luxury brands, Amiri, Celine, Rolex, and he raps about being famous. It's all pretty typical Future stuff. Like I said, Future's songwriting hasn't really tremendously progressed, but what does have a noticeable progression here is Future's flows and delivery. His flow seems a lot more smooth and just more in tune with the beat on this project. The song Solitaries with Travis Scott is okay. The lyrics don't really offer anything innovative, but I do think both artists complement each other really well. It's got a pretty catchy hook delivered in the lower register of Travis Scott's voice, and the first 2 verses aren't that bad, but I feel like Travis kind of loses it by the 3rd verse. I mean, it gets to the point where the bars don't even rhyme with the following bars, or just like barely passes rhyming. It just seemed like a weak ending to me. Got 7 drops in 4 spots, I get to pick where I live. In the back, they play in twinsies like a Hugh Hefner zoo. On my teeth, these diamonds twinkle. In her legs, a jacuzzi. I've been tweaking every day. I got some screws missing. What? Is he rapping or just rambling? The album does pick up a little bit with the song Ridin Strikers, which is easily one of the more interesting songs on the project. It's also one of the faster songs on the record. It starts with a few bars of this hypnotic string, almost like lute sounding instrument, which I thought was really cool. A few bars later, the beat comes in. It's a simple beat, but pretty energy packed, as Future raps about sending shooters to take care of the opposition, if you know what I mean. Again, the lyrics aren't anything groundbreaking, but this is another instance of Future showing off his flow. About 2/3 of the way through the track, the song slows down with this like record tape stop effect, distorting the beat and Future's vocals, only to start back up again with a completely different beat. The second part of the song is much slower and features a spaced out, ominous piano and a news-style audio bite about a bank robbery, presumably done by Future and his counterparts. After this little interlude, Future raps about pouring up drink and robbing a bank until one of his partners commits a murder and goes to jail for life. Future finishes the song. Oh my god, go away! I'm like the furthest thing from country. Shit. Future then finishes the song with "Been Scarred as a Child," which is interesting in the context of this song and makes you wonder which parts of the song that Future may have actually experienced as a kid. From start to finish, this is one of the most cohesive songs on the whole LP. Even though the song has two very different sounding parts, it has pretty cohesive theme and ideas, and Future does a good job of portraying the story through his lyrics without really straying too far away from the theme. The producers did a good job of connecting these two parts with an interesting transition as well. Another highlight of the project is Too Comfortable. This is one of the more mellow R&B inspired tracks. The song is based around this half-timed folky guitar sample, and the beat is pretty simple with its mellow bass and reverbed snare, allowing a lot of space for Future's vocal. Future seems to be talking to a woman that he currently has a relationship with, who has grown a bit too comfortable with the accolades and luxury that come with dating a celebrity of Future's status. Future is warning her to not get too comfortable because since he is a celebrity, he tends to indulge in sexual relationships with a lot of different women. There's even a bar where he says it's hard to stay faithful when you're winning. This is definitely one of the more emotional songs on the record. This track is then followed by All Bad with Lil Uzi Vert. All Bad has a pretty noticeable Uzi influence as it's produced by one of Uzi's main producers. It's a very light, twinkly, but energy-packed beat. It sounds like an alternate version of Celebration Station off of EA. On this track, both Future and Uzi rap about the massive amount of women they have access to and the glamorous lifestyle that comes along with their fame. Again, the lyrical content remains pretty one-dimensional as it does through most of the LP, but I do like how they decided to split the hook into two parts. On the hook, Uzi sings the first 8 bars and Future sings the second 8 bars, and then on the second hook, they flip that. Future sings the first 8 and Uzi sings the second 8. I just thought it was cool. It adds a good amount of contrast. The next song, Outer Space Bit, is another song on the more mellow side. It's based around a grand piano minor chord progression. The 808s hit hard and there's a lot of perks on the high end to keep the drums bouncing and fill a lot of the empty space. The song has a pretty minimal yet catchy hook. Rocky Icy Watch, whoa, 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 yeah. California Ridin, whoa, 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 yeah. It has a lot of the same strengths and weaknesses as the songs I discussed before it. The last song I want to touch on is Last Name with Lil Durk. This is probably the most emotional and transparent song on the record. On this one, Future reflects on his life before the fame and growing up in the streets. He talks about being exposed to a lot of crime, gun violence, and homicide, and being scarred and paranoid from this to the point where sometimes he can't even sleep at night. Wisely, he brings in Lil Durk to talk about a similar experience and his upbringing growing up in Chicago. The two give a pretty good idea of what it's like being a kid growing up in the hood. A Lil Durk line that really stood out to me was, "I answer my phone in the middle of the night, like who done died now." This line really speaks to how normal it is for people in these communities to fall victim to gun violence and homicides. So much so that when Lil Durk gets a call, he literally answers it with, "Who died now?" In addition to reflecting on these traumatic experiences, Future also talks about another one of his fears, women taking advantage of him wanting his last name, which is where the track gets the title from. It alludes to his experience of women trying to trap him into fatherhood in order to get some money from him because he's a celebrity. I feel like this is the best song on the project. It has a very clear topic, it's very focused, There's not too much filler, and it does offer one of the better Lil Durk features for sure. I only mentioned 6 of the 17 new songs on this project. These are the songs that I think are the best, and the rest of the songs don't really have too much to offer for me. Again, they all follow the same formula. The lyrical content is generally the same, and I don't know, it just gets boring. There's nothing crazy new or interesting in terms of production choices or lyrical content on this one. And I do think that the singles that Future has previously released as part of this project are still some of the best tracks. Outside of those, there's really only a few other good tracks in my opinion. I'm feeling a 6 out of 10 on this one. Nothing really groundbreaking here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you found this video informative, please make sure to like, share, and to subscribe. And if you want more new music, here's some other releases that came out this weekend. You should check them out. They're pretty good. And I will be back next week. All right, y'all. Thank you, and have a very good and safe night. Peace.